Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us here on this live stream. We're just going to kind of give you some updates on what's going on today because today is a first alert day and we have quite a bit going on. I wouldn't say anything major happening, but definitely a lot of variety going on with all the different issues that we might be dealing with.
Depends on where you are. Potentially impactful. So we're going to take the next half hour, walk you through it, talk about what's going on, and get you ready to go. We're seeing a lot of the active weather right now, but it will continue for the next couple of days. We have a very unsettled period. I'm meteorologist Leah Pezzetti.
Yep, and I'm meteorologist Claibon. And so yeah, we're just going to get right into it and kind of show you what's ahead if you're trying to drive across the mountains right now. So let's take a look at radar, and you can see there has been some heavier pockets of rain. Have you been driving, especially near and south of Seattle today? There have been those heavier pockets which have been coming down, creating a lot of spray on the roadways while you're driving. Of course, the highways, you're going to deal with that a lot more because of the higher speeds. But looks like we're dealing with a heavier band right now from Thurston County there around Olympia, around Tumwater, farther south down closer to Chehalis and going through the valley there. You're going to be seeing a lot more of the heavy rain down that way. We'll have some lighter showers as you go farther north. We have some rain shadowing happening right now. That might limit some of the rainfall totals we'll see with this, and we're going to show you that coming up a bit later. But you can see that moisture eventually heads off to the east. And what happens? Well, it eventually makes its way up to the mountains, and we're dealing with heavy mountain snow.
And that is one of the exciting things about the forecast right now is it's rain in the lowlands and it is snow in the mountains. Our reporter and anchor Madison Wade actually went to Snoqualmie Pass, and she has a check now of what conditions are looking like at Snoqualmie Pass.
Hi everyone, coming to you from the summit at Snoqualmie right now, where the snow really just has not stopped falling for the past several hours. We are possibly going to see 1 to 2 feet, even more snow falling here in our mountain ranges, and skiers and snowboarders are taking advantage of that. You can see a lot of people behind me are heading up to get on that first chair and get on the slopes today. Really exciting stuff here at the summit at Snoqualmie too, because Alpental will be opening up tomorrow for the first time this season, and the Idlewise chair, a brand new chairlift, will be operating tomorrow as well. They do say that there could be some concerns with avalanche risk, so if anyone wants to hit Alpental tomorrow, you are encouraged to be patient as they open up that side of the summit here. It's just really awesome to see all the snow, especially with that slow start to the season, but now things are looking really great and skiers and snowboarders are super happy to be here. We'll stay up here and bring you any new updates as we get them right here on King 5.
Oh my goodness. Winter Wonderland.
Yeah, right? It's so exciting.
And you know what? Our snowpack really needs it. We're going to talk about more where we sit with our snowpack in just a little bit, but we want to show you some live cameras around the region. It is absolutely beautiful out there. I'm going to control it on my laptop, but you can see that's my laptop screen right there. So I'll show you some of our local resorts cameras. Let's take those right now. So first we are going to start with, if we can get that up there. Oh, whoop, whoop. Can we get that up, guys? Let's see. Here, we'll do it right here. How about that?
Yeah, looks like we might have lost it right there. Go ahead.
Oh no, we lost it.
Yeah, we did. Would have been really neat to show you definitely, but let's get back to
we'll go to graphics.
Some of the winter alerts that we have here across the area currently. You can definitely tell that we have a few different colors showing up, and this is not all of the alerts and advisories we actually have. These are just the ones in regards to the winter advisories that we're dealing with. So we have the winter weather advisory across the Olympics. That's going to be with us until 7 p.m. tonight. Probably getting those snow totals up to about maybe a foot of snow. That would be impressive to see over there. So Hurricane Ridge, going to be really happy to see that. Some gusts to up to 40 miles per hour wherever you are, either across the Olympics or the Cascades. And the Cascades is where we could see over this next 2 to 3 day stretch 2 to 4 feet. Yes, feet of snow ahead through 4 p.m. on Thursday. And that's when that winter storm warning will be ending for us at that point. Obviously, there could be some higher marks here and there, depending on where exactly we get some of this banding to really pop up. But one thing that's really helping us out are the lower snow levels. And when you have lower snow levels, you're going to have a cooler air temperature, especially up around our passes. Snow levels getting all the way down to 1,000 feet. We'll talk about what exciting news that could mean for maybe a few of us heading on into that early Thursday time. But with the lower snow levels, you got the colder temperatures, and colder temperatures, you have a higher snow ratio. And that means that that snow is going to stack up a bit higher than what it would typically do if it's closer to that freezing point. So it adds to more of the higher snow totals, even with the same amount of moisture around. But at this time, we're also dealing with heavier snow too and heavier precipitation. That's all coming together for us and really helping to supply and help to replenish at least some of the snowpack that we lost early in the season, and hopefully we can get back up closer to average. Now, here's Futurecast, and you can see for the time being, We're keeping a lot of the showers near and south of Seattle. There are going to be a few light sprinkles up here around Seattle, up across more of Snohomish County, but with the rain shadowing, there's not as much of that happening. We continue on here into the evening. That heavy snow that you see into the mountains, well, that's going to hang with us. You'll see that band that's up there across Snohomish County, that will be some convergence zone activity that will hang on just a bit longer, help to reduce and to provide us with a bit more of the heavier snow up there. So that's why we're probably thinking Stevens Pass could be a big winner with all of this here as we go over the next few days, because behind all of this here through the night, you have more of a scattered variety and a scattered nature to some of the showers that we're going to have in place, and that continues on into tomorrow morning.
And this is actually a second disturbance that's moving in. So right now and kind of today, we're seeing this more wet system move through, and that's bringing that widespread rain. But as we head into tomorrow, this disturbance is a lot more dry. It's not going to pack quite as much of a punch, but you can see just off the Pacific tomorrow morning, this is 8 a.m. You see that band of showers there. That is what is going to bring the next kind of moderate weather maker during the day tomorrow. So while we see showers start to taper off and that widespread rain start to taper off this afternoon, this is tomorrow. So 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, your morning commute features a few spotty showers. We'll see that band of showers roll through during the day. So this is right around lunchtime into about 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Once again, that widespread rain hits the sound. It's pretty light in nature, but we could see some pockets of heavier rainfall. And then behind that, the center of the low will rotate through, and it just brings some spotty showers into tomorrow evening. So we will definitely see some periods of dry weather, but we'll also still continue to add on with those rain totals. But rain totals actually look pretty minimal for tomorrow compared to what we've seen today. But with that rain or with that precipitation, it will still continue to fall as a little bit of snow into the mountains. And that continues into Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Now this is where things get interesting. When we showed you that snow level graphic, you may have noticed that we dropped down to about 1,000 feet on Thursday. Some isolated areas could even get down to about 500 feet. So what that means is this is an okay shot at some lower level snow. We do lose a good amount of that precipitation, but this is early Thursday morning, 5:30 a.m. And you can see up to the north, Whatcom, Skagit, and kind of into Snohomish counties as well. Those snow levels are going to start to drop down. It's a lot colder up there, so it'll definitely aid in that snow formation. So what we're expecting is at least a little bit of a wet snow falling. The sticking is going to be the tricky thing. We'll want to keep temperatures below freezing, which we're right on the cusp of, right around freezing, but it's not looking like a big snow maker necessarily for the lowlands, but we could definitely see a little bit of a wet snow mix for early Thursday morning. Then into the afternoon, we'll dry things out, and it's just rain for the lowlands. So the best shot at lower level snow is going to be overnight Wednesday night into Thursday morning. But we're also talking about wind with these systems as well.
Yeah, Leah, and as you can see right here, as we head throughout the remainder of today, we are going to start to notice some of these winds beginning to die on off here as we head on into the evening. So we currently do have an advisory with us. That's going to be until 4 p.m. We'll talk about that here in a second. But you can see the gusts are up to about 40, maybe 50 miles per hour and some peak spots right here. But going on here into the evening, continuing to see those breezy winds. Even though we might be outside of an advisory here later on into the night, still expect those times of breeziness to be in place for us, especially with some of the showers that'll move on through. So we'll keep them around 10 to 15, closer to 20 or 25 miles per hour late tonight, heading on into tomorrow. And just as these systems kind of roll on through, they're kind of weak, but they're definitely going to pack a punch, and they'll be a little potent. So you'll continue to see that with those showers will come some areas of wind. Now that's going to hang with us into tomorrow afternoon. And as we mentioned, this area of low pressure will eventually start to sweep on by. And so for the time being here, as we head on into more of Wednesday, we're keeping more of a westerly and a southwesterly flow to a lot of our wind, but we do eventually start to notice that coming in more so from the northwest. And once that front pushes on through and that low pushes off to the east, then we start to get another somewhat of a surge of some wind that's going to come through, and that's really going to help to solidify and helping to drive home the cooler air mass that's going to be around to help those snow levels to drop here as we head on into Wednesday night and into early Thursday morning. So if you're going to be out at any time Thursday morning, even though you might not see any of the snow out there, it may not be falling where you are here in the lowlands, you'll definitely feel the chill that will be in the air. And so far, we picked up about a third, up to about a half an inch of rain in some spots. Lesser amounts, rain shadowed spots up that way around Port Townsend and around Everett, but even higher amounts as you get out towards Mason County. Shelton coming in just under 9/10 of an inch, while Hoquiam, we're closing in on an inch So another pretty good rain producer, and as we mentioned last week that our drought conditions, they have improved. We have seen that with all this rain here over the past month and a half, things have been doing much better in that regards, and we do have more rain to come. Now, obviously what you're seeing in the mountains, that's going to be falling in the form of snow, but when you're talking about an inch or two, possibly 3 inches of precipitation. General rule is that for every inch of precipitation, you're talking about the possibility of 10 inches of snowfall. And with some of the cooler temperatures, that could maybe mean that ratio is a bit higher. We talked about the colder temperatures helping with that snow precipitation ratio, and so hopefully that'll help out and work in our favor here for the mountains. And there you go. You can see that right there too. Snowfall amounts are looking to be pretty good here, and that's on top of what we've already seen here going on throughout the morning and into the afternoon. Another 1 to 2, possibly 3 feet still yet ahead for us as we head through Thursday morning at 5 o'clock.
So an active period right now. Past travel is going to be tricky for the next, the rest of today, I would say, and we'll see hit and miss periods of potentially dicey travel weather through the next couple of days. But today is really the high impact day. That's why we're first alert today. It's snow for the mountains. It's that rain and wind for the lowlands and wind in the mountains as well.
Yeah.
But like Adam just mentioned, we are in a pretty big deficit as far as most areas for rain, and then also our snowpack as well. So we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have a closer look at that. This is a view from our Snoqualmie camera.
New data about safety and effectiveness can come to light. The FDA keeps track of that new data, which can come from patients, drug makers, or healthcare professionals, and may include information about negative reactions to prescriptions. Based on this information, the FDA may recommend that the drug maker update the drug labeling by adding warnings or updated dosage information. Changes could also include the FDA requesting a drug recall. Find the answers at fda.gov/drugs. New data about safety and effectiveness can come to light. The FDA keeps track of that new data, which can come from patients, drug makers, or healthcare professionals, and may include information about negative reactions to prescriptions. Based on this information, the FDA may recommend that the drug maker update the drug labeling by adding warnings or updated dosage information. Changes could also include the FDA requesting a drug recall. Find the answers at fda.gov/drugs.
We're with Liam after his 4th military move. When
Hey everybody, thanks for sticking with us. I'm meteorologist Leah Pezzetti.
I'm meteorologist Claibon, and we're in first alert mode here today. A lot of snow in the mountains. Of course, there are going to be pockets of heavy rain and some wind too, but we're really keeping an eye out for that snow in the mountains, which could maybe sneak into some lowland spots. Not everyone, but some.
Yeah, so right now it's in the mountains. The low-level snow potential is going to be kind of Wednesday night into Thursday, so we're keeping an eye on that. But my goodness, our camera views are spectacular today. Let's show you what we are seeing right now. This is a live view from the summit at Snoqualmie. You can see that snow is actively falling right now. A couple of people out there. Looks like someone's enjoying the fire. Let's see, we'll go take that full screen. One person's out there. 2 people are out there. Not a lot of people on a Tuesday afternoon who have the time to
Not yet. Maybe a little bit later.
Oh, someone's coming down the hill.
Yeah, there you go.
We've got a skier coming down. Okay, so summit at Snoqualmie is looking beautiful. I'm going to show you, this is my computer screen that you're looking at right now. So now let's click into Stevens Pass. My goodness, the snow is coming down there.
Yeah, it is. And you can see big fat flakes, and this is probably one of the spots that we could see quite a bit more because of convergence zone activity as we go over the next 2 to 3 days. So it'll be interesting and very fascinating to see what does end up being our snow totals here at Stevens Pass. Obviously, we've had our issues with their highway and everything, but this is great news here for the resort now that we're starting to get a lot more snow up that way.
Yeah, and clearly people have figured out how to get there.
Yeah.
Lots of people. Oh my goodness, look at that skier go. Sliding right through. Cool. Okay, and now let's take you to Crystal Mountain, shall we? This is a live view from Crystal Mountain. This is Gold Hills, elevation 5,000 feet. Same thing. Looks like some big wet snowflakes are falling there. Not seeing that lift on at the moment. I always love this view from Mount Rainier at Paradise Visitor Center. My goodness, that parking lot. We've been watching this the last couple weeks. And
right?
It feels like you can always see the parking lot, but it's disappeared from view now.
You know, and it's a far view, of course. We can't see all the way up to the building itself, but looking at the siding of this visitor center right there, it almost looks like the snow is halfway up the door or something. It looks pretty high. I mean, of course, you're going to have some snow drifts and everything. That will help to maybe give to more of that higher snow look. But either way, it's been coming down heavily. We're up to around 5,500 feet here as far as the elevation, so that kind of helps out with some of the higher snow totals here as well. But yeah, we're seeing snow, and it's coming down here heavily today.
And then this is another camera that I always am so excited to look at. We kind of missed the Christmas window for the season. Obviously, it's January 6th at this point, but always a good sight to see Leavenworth with that beautiful snow falling. The lights are still up, so if you missed it at Christmas time because of all of the weather chaos that was ensuing in December, you can still go enjoy Leavenworth in all of its Christmas glory right now. This is a live view from Leavenworth. A couple people are out there, but you see that snow is falling. And, oh, look, someone's going down the little sled hill right now. Oh, that is such a nice sight. We have been waiting for that. That's been a mud hill the last couple of weeks, so it's a nice thing to see it actually falling as snow in Leavenworth as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to continue to see how things shape up for us here over these next 2 to 3 days. The snow, we've been talking about how we're grateful to see it. It's been coming down heavily, and that's because we've been seeing a lot more of a deficit in our snowpack across a lot of the state. There are actually some parts of the state that are doing pretty well, but for the majority of us here across the state, we need a lot of this snow.
Should we take a check on that right now, Adam?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that.
Okay, we're going to go back to my computer screen here. This is a, you know what, we're going to actually start right here. This is a view of from the USDA. This shows the latest information. We're going to let this load here on our snowpack. So you can see right now, North Cascades are actually doing a lot better. South Cascades are where we're hurting. Our percentage compared to normal is in the 45 to 55% range. This is data as of yesterday evening, so the end of yesterday. The Olympics are also hurting. The North Cascades are one of the only areas that are actually doing well as far as the percentage of normal for this time of the year.
Yeah, and so you can see right there, especially where you see some of the red, that's where we're having some major deficits as far as our snowpack is concerned, or that snow water equivalent, how much water should come from our snow that melts up into those parts. So we'll continue to try to build on that, and I'm sure we're going to make some dents in the deficits here as we go over the next 2 to 3 days. And you can see as we're running behind that we could use that here across the area. Now, it hasn't been because of a lack of moisture. We've been seeing a lot of moisture here over the past month or so, which has really helped out our drought conditions. But yeah, we're definitely noticing the lower snow levels helping out with the additional snow that we've been seeing. And it's going to be creating some issues for you if you're trying to drive across the passes here tonight or on into the day for tomorrow, because we are going to keep those snow levels around about 1,000 to 3,000 feet here through at least Friday. Now, once we head into the weekend, you can see some spikes in those snow levels getting up to around 6,000 feet. And at that time, too, we're probably talking about some much quieter weather beginning to come on in. And that's why it's probably really important that we're able to squeeze as much snow out of these systems that are going to be coming through here through Thursday, because there is a drier period that will be ahead as we head on into more of next week, or at least it's shaping up that way as of right now. But pretty exciting to see that snow level drop as low as it is, because the system that's going to be coming on through today, no big worries about any of that making its way into the foothills. We're actually going to keep things fairly high when it comes to that, but definitely going to be dumping down a lot of snow. And here we are at 7 o'clock. You can kind of see that beginning to let up and not being as widespread at this point, as we'll get the main band of the precipitation out of here. But behind, there will be off and on periods of some snow that will be hanging with us. But it's with this area of low pressure that you see right here heading into more of Wednesday afternoon. That south wind is out ahead of that low pressure system, and you'll see that swirl come through as we head towards the tail end of the day and heading on into the night. And that's going to help to really produce that colder air that we're going to have in the atmosphere. And with that, too, we're going to have enough precipitation when it's heavy enough to draw down some of the colder air from the higher parts of the atmosphere to produce maybe some brief periods of snow here across some of those areas that could be closer to about 1,000 feet.
Yeah, and this is showing right now, the best chance is going to be up to the north, Whatcom, Skagit, into Snohomish counties for that lower level snow. But this run right here, this is our graph model. This is showing Hood Canal also could see a little bit of a wet snow mix. And then also down south around Olympia, this looks more wet than snow, but you could see some wet snowflakes falling. The problem is going to be how much of it is actually going to stick. This is Wednesday evening, same thing. We see it kind of shifting up to the north, more Whatcom, Skagit into Snohomish counties, and then that continues into late Wednesday night. This is just before midnight on Wednesday night into Thursday. We see that same thing kind of around that Whatcom, Skagit County line. We'll take a step into early Thursday morning, and we'll still have some precipitation moving through. That point, this is early Thursday, 5:30 a.m. Same thing, Whatcom, Skagit County is where we have one of the better shots at any of that lower elevation snow. But this is the temperature. This is what we're waking up to on Thursday morning. So Wednesday night into Thursday, it will be cold out there. We are right around freezing, but many of us will stay above freezing, and that'll hinder us from seeing any of that snow falling and sticking. So around the Seattle metro area, around Tacoma, it's a lot warmer, a couple degrees above freezing, so that'll diminish that chance for any snowfall for the lowlands. But you can see around Shelton, around Bremerton, around Olympia, we are on the cusp of freezing, and these models honestly tend to be a little bit warmer than the reality, so I would not be surprised if we drop into closer to around 30 degrees. So what that means is the best chance for that lower elevation snow looks like kind of Wednesday night into Thursday morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we get back, we're going to be talking a little more about how things are going to shape up here for the rest of this evening, and we'll let you know how things will be shaping up too as we head on into the rest of this first alert after this.
New data about safety and effectiveness can come to light. The FDA keeps track of that new data, which can come from patients, drug makers, or healthcare professionals, and may include information about negative reactions to prescriptions. Based on this information, the FDA may recommend that the drug maker update the drug labeling by adding warnings or updated dosage information. Changes could also include the FDA requesting a drug recall. Find the answers at fda.gov/drugs.
take a look at this video taken on the Port Townsend-Coupeville route shows rough sailing conditions this morning. Wow, this video posted on X was taken just before conditions became too dangerous and service actually had to be suspended. Ferry service did end up resuming this afternoon around 12:30 p.m. But that is a great representation of the choppy water that we are seeing due in part to the strong wind.
Yeah, the winds have been very, very strong here in a few spots. Now, we've been keeping a lot of the area underneath that wind advisory criteria, but even if you're up around 35, 40 miles per hour, of course, that's going to create some issues. And to go along with that, the high surf that we've seen out towards the coast, and we've been talking about the king tides here recently. That's actually had a little bit of a influence. I wouldn't say a big influence, but an influence as far as some of the higher waters we've been seeing here over the past few days as well. And that's why you can see, at least there for the coast, high surf advisories with us until we head into, or they're going to be with us from 10 o'clock tomorrow until 10 o'clock heading into Thursday morning. Some large waves could be possible with that.
And just one more check of that wind. We are seeing the wind right now in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range. Today's wind is starting to calm down. Tomorrow we will still have breezy conditions out there, but not quite as strong as what we've seen today. Today was definitely the high impact day. That's why we're in first alert today.
Yes, absolutely. Well, everyone, stay safe out there. Of course, if you're driving across the mountain passes, give yourself a lot of extra time. Have those necessary chains too, because you might need to use them at some point. All right, and we'll keep you updated here on King 5 Plus and King5.com for you here. I'm meteorologist Adam Claibon.
I'm meteorologist Leah Pezzetti. Thanks for sticking with us. Stay safe out there, and skiers and snowboarders, we know you are going to enjoy the snow.
New data about safety and effectiveness can come to light. The FDA keeps track of that new data, which can come from patients, drug makers, or healthcare professionals, and may include information about negative reactions to prescriptions. Based on this information, the FDA may recommend that the drug maker